Good Sunday, April 11th. A warm temperature yesterday. We saw a high of 80 in Sacramento, 80 in Marysville, mid to upper 70s, Stockton, Modesto, 78 in Fairfield. It's been pretty warm beginning the weekend and now ending the weekend. We're looking at some more 80s, dry, warm conditions, but also just a bit breezy, which leads us to the potential for more grass fires to start a little earlier than the wildfire season. In the next 6 to 10 day outlook, we are seeing a lot warmer temperatures on the west coast and pretty much anywhere else in the nation, as we do expect way above average temperatures for this time of year through northern California, the Pacific Northwest, and then that orange zone into central to northern California, also seeing above average temperatures, really anything from about 10 to even 15 degrees above average. Now, we want to talk about the fire year comparisons because what we're looking at here is another very dry year. It's actually tied for third driest on record with 2014 so far. Now, what we do expect to see is these drier conditions leading to more wildfires, which of course is not a good thing. The 2020 numbers coming in from CAL FIRE incidents showing 608 fires from just January 1st to March 28th. So just that 3-month span, that period of time, creating 608 fires, and then of course 873 acres burned with that. Now, as we compare it now to 2021, this year we're already seeing more fires burned and almost double the acres burned. Now, we do want to bring this in here too. 109 more fires already, so that's those numbers for you. We're looking at 668 more acres burned, and then the total CAL FIRES plus the U.S. Service Forest fires is about 812 fires, and that's over 2,800 acres burned. So these are combined fires with the U.S. Forest Service with the numbers you're seeing here in 2021. So we're already looking at another dry year ahead. It started out dry. We're just not getting enough water. We are way behind in where we should be water-wise. Now, with dry, warm, and breezy conditions, of course, not a good recipe to start off our April. A risk for grass fires is imminent with this stuff, but the breezy conditions we want to talk about, because we're not looking at winds that are really 20, 30, or even 50 miles per hour. These are just kind of breezy, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Nothing that's going to start really pushing any kind of sparks or ashes or anything long distances. But what we're going to see with this is smaller fires, localized fires closer to homes, kind of things off the freeways, stuff like that. So we want to keep an eye on that. Make sure your chains on the cars aren't dropping there. If you're pulling something or you're even mowing the grass there a little later in the day, could spark a fire, because if you hit a rock, sparks there, and then you have a small grass fire. Now, we are going to see a slight chance of precipitation, and at this point in time, it's about a 20% chance to see Tuesday to Wednesday for the Sierra, to see anything falling there, whether it's rain, whether it's a mixture of ice or even snow at some of the higher elevations. We are seeing an upper level trough, basically a low pressure system that'll be bypassing California and kind of dropping in toward Nevada. Well, that could bring us a little bit of rain for the high Sierra, so we're really hoping to see something like that, at least to prolong things a little further. Now, a high pressure system just off the Pacific's creating this massive ridge. When you saw that temperature chart with well above average temperatures for much of the west coast, that does include the Pacific Northwest, well above average temperatures, because this high here is really sitting in place. That'll keep us dry. The low pressure down below is just kind of sitting there. It's not doing much in terms of action and bringing us rain. It's just kind of sitting out in the Pacific. This low pressure here has already moved its way out, and now we could potentially see some winds coming in based on these two low pressure systems getting a little closer and creating a pressure gradient. Now, the pressure gradient, what that means is the bigger the difference in the pressure, the stronger the winds that are going to come out of that. And that's what we may see Tuesday to Wednesday. But at this point, these systems really aren't doing too much or getting too close to each other just yet. So the winds will be more breezy than really strong and windy or gusty. Light winds through the valley, about 10 to about 13 miles per hour, 14 there in Fairfield. So again, these aren't major winds. You can see most of the big winds are offshore, about 40-mile-per-hour winds, and they're starting to move in and target Southern California. Meanwhile, again, we're bypassing most of that, so that's pretty good for us. As we start moving on Monday, we're going to be light. Then we start getting from Tuesday to Wednesday, we could see winds about 22 miles per hour through Fairfield, which is typical for the Delta to get stronger winds than everyone else. You notice this area here through the coastal range, blue, kind of greenish yellow, that's anywhere from 15, 25-mile-per-hour winds. Meanwhile, everyone else is looking at lighter wind conditions. The gusts may be another issue, but at this point, lighter winds inland. Mostly clear skies, that'll continue. Now, here's our first chance that we could see any kind of rain or even potentially snow in the forecast for the high Sierra. That's 5 p.m. on Tuesday. The bigger thing here is this one. This is Wednesday at 7:30 a.m., so pretty much the overnight hours into early morning Wednesday. This may be our best shot to see any kind of rain, snow, ice, or even lower elevation rainfall there right through the foothills. So we're hoping this actually comes through fruition because we need to see some of this precipitation just prolonging things a little further. So hoping to see anything come out of this into your Wednesday. After that, everything's gone. We continue to dry out with clear skies and sunshine. And a lot of the southern areas do as well. 83 Sacramento today. We're looking at warmer temperatures. Phoenix in the low 90s, mid 80s Dallas, Houston in the 80s, 76 New Orleans. Everyone else is much cooler further north, and that's because we're looking at the jet stream basically cutting and making a ridge up and over California. That keeps us warm, dipping down through central U.S., keeping them cooler. So kind of what we're looking at currently now. The overnight hours into Monday, we'll see some temperatures much cooler in the early morning hours. Now, lower areas of the foothills today, mid to upper 70s. Iona at 79, 65 Truckee and South Lake Tahoe. And we'll see the Sierra temperatures here right around the low 50s Tuesday, and then getting back into the mid 50s Thursday with that little dip there Wednesday because we could be seeing some snowfall Wednesday. So we're really hoping for that. Mid 60s San Francisco, Oakland 80 in Antioch, 83 degrees in Fairfield. Lower 80s here for the San Joaquin Valley. Could see 83 in Tracy today. Looking at 82 to 83 degrees from Sacramento to Elk Grove, possibly 84 there for Davis today. So definitely warming up for much of the valley. Low 80s do continue Monday, and then we do take a little bit of a dip, like we mentioned, Tuesday to Wednesday. Some winds coming in out of the north will cool us down just a little bit, temperature-wise, a little breezy as well. And then we'll see everything start to rise once again as we get to Thursday, upper 70s, more low 80s, and then finally, take a look at this, Sunday into Monday of next week. We could be approaching temperatures here at around 90 degrees.